get started in 2 minutes, so get a piece of food and drink and find a seat. And, 2 more minutes. Hello everyone, let's get started. Let's begin with the evening's festivities, I say. Let's get started with this year's or this season's final Cyber Meetup. This is going to be our last one for the spring summer session, and then we're going to have a break. So this is the final time in 4 months that we're going to see each other. That's it, right? So, right, but to do this right and to finish this season strong, we have a very good lineup of speakers today. And our main idea today, and this concept that we're trying to say, is that we're going to be talking about different kinds of funding and different kinds of ways to make innovation and to bring innovation to life in cybersecurity. So this whole session today is about money. There is money out there somewhere for cybersecurity innovation. It's not, just money that anybody can just take and just, like put in their pocket, but you need to have ideas, you need to have something that you want to pitch, and you need to have a team or, a consortium or something like that. But let's talk about money. And we're going to be talking about money. There's a lot of people who are going to be talking about money. Rain Otis from TalTech is going to talk about how you can, take your money to their place. And then 𝗥cie_𝗁𝗂𝗶 is going to talk about, like how you're going to get some money if you have a good idea. Marleen Rotam from NATO Diana program is going to do a similar thing. And then we're going to be telling you a little bit about how the European Union is putting a lot of money into cybersecurity research and innovation as well. So it's a lot of talk about money and a lot of talk about cybersecurity innovation and research. And not just cybersecurity, because NATO Diana is also, they go into the defense tech. And this is a little bit different. There may be some cyber components to it. And we're going to hear about that. And we're going to ask her about that. Right? So let's get started. So we're going to, just before we go into RINE and TalTech, I just want to remind you about a little talk one of my colleagues told us about last time. So can we get the next slides? My slides up here. Got to tell you about an initiative that we from RIA, we're going to be doing for the cybersecurity companies in Estonia. So what we want to do is we want to give you, who you are representing Estonian cybersecurity companies or companies operating in Estonia, a small grant to do some research and development. No, not that one. Let's do the slides, which were the ones with the number 1 on it, right? But while we get those slides, the slides don't matter as much. So we're going to have a program which starts at the end of 2025, in which we, alongside Estonian Innovation Agency, 𝗍𝗓𝗍𝗍, we're going to be giving small grants for cybersecurity companies to do product development and service development for cybersecurity. So this is intended to sort of get Estonian cybersecurity companies to sort of practice on how to do collaboration with research institutions to further their cybersecurity products and services. It's to improve existing products, develop and test new products, create prototypes, solve problems, do proof of concepts, try to do patents, and maybe go into some new areas such as all the buzzword, AI and post-quantum and, space, all those kinds of things which could be interesting. These activities that this grant money, this funding up to 100,000 euros are meant for are so that you could, as a company, take this and do a joint project with a research institution. And we're going to hear about some examples, or one example of what type of collaboration you could be doing. So we're in a design phase right now. We're talking to some companies, we're talking to some universities, we're talking to some research institutions so that we could design this in a way that Estonian cybersecurity service providers and product providers could, actually benefit from this. RIA's homepage will be the place to look for it. And we're envisioning this as up to 100,000 euro grant, up to about 12 to 18 months worth of a project, which the company is going to be doing with the university or a research organization. And the own contribution for this company should be, depending on the size of the company, 30 to 50%. And the small ones go for the 30, the medium ones for the 40, and the large ones for the 50%, who are doing research actions anyways. And we have some focus areas so that the cybersecurity companies could focus on technological solutions for the automation of cybersecurity. That also includes AI for cybersecurity, tools and strategies for the transition to quantum-safe cryptographic algorithms, and space technologies, cybersecurity of space technologies as well. So these are our focus areas. But to do this, these companies need to find a research partner. And last time in May, we had a couple of research partners up here on the stage telling you about what focus areas they are working with. And today we're going to have another one. And to do this, I'm going to invite good friend Rain up here on stage. Rain will tell you about how to work together with TalTech and what are the areas in which TalTech could be working for you. Let's just put it this way, right? Go.
Yes. So, good evening, everyone. I'm not sure I got the same brief when I was asked to come here, because I was told to prepare a 15-minute interpretive dance warm-up session, and I would get some leftover sandwiches in the end, yes? Cool. So I'm not much of a dancer, so I made some slides instead, and I will be pointing powerfully at them to talk to you about cybersecurity and TalTech, who we are, what we do, and perhaps how you could come and meet us. If you have excess of money, what to do with that. If you have lack of money, what to do with that. So, first, at a glance, there's two research groups in TalTech that are specifically looking at cybersecurity. There's the Center for Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity that I lead, and there's the Maritime Cybersecurity Center, which is in the Estonian Maritime Academy. But there are various other groups that are doing things that maybe they themselves don't actually call cybersecurity, but you would recognize as, this is something I need for cybersecurity. So we're talking about testing software, for example, or writing reliable software. These are disciplines that are sorely needed, but typically they don't actually use the cybersecurity keyword. However, people first, right? I have a colleague here with me. I promise that I will blame him for at least two things today. So we do teach, and that I think is a very good reason to come and seek us out, because we do offer a full stack of cybersecurity education. So if you have somebody young who is just getting on this road, send them to our way. The best of the best can apply for the cybersecurity engineering program. Why I think it is best of the best? Because that actually is the one that has the highest requirements of all the programs that we have. So 85% math is the minimum to get in. Regular computer science is like 70. And then it just goes downhill from there. So if you want best of the best, send them to the cybersecurity engineering bachelor program. If you already have a bachelor, there is a master's program. And Adrian here, I blame for being the program manager for that program. So if you have questions afterwards, talk to him. I'm sure he's glad to explain what this program is and what he does. We also have a PhD program. So for those of you who already have a PhD in something, doesn't have to be cybersecurity, but if you are interested in doing a cybersecurity related PhD, come find one of us. We'll happily talk to you. There's various ways you can do it. You can work in the university. You can continue working where you are. Do something called the industry PhD. And application period is still open until July 3rd, so go for it. We also do one-off courses. You can do open university, like pick single courses if you want. But if you have more questions, first, Google is your friend. go and find TalTech's website. There is actually some information there about it. And you're also free to talk to one of us. Or can I see just by hands, who is a graduate of TalTech? Or, yeah, plenty of us here who can help you. Now, in terms of research, when we're talking about the innovation ideas, that requires somebody doing some research somewhere, right? And in these two groups, I've tried to map some focus areas, and there are some people who are in charge of one or the other direction. Feel free to seek them out and talk to them if one of these keywords is interesting to you. For cryptography topics, pre and post quantum, please go find Professor Buldas. He'll be happy to talk to you. For anything to do with network security, monitoring systems, log analysis, how to build a SOC, and how to use AI and machine learning in the network security and SOC environment, find Professor Risto Varandi. He'll be happy to talk to you about these topics. For maritime systems, so both those who float and the ones who are on the shore, please go and find Professor Sanjebaug from the Maritime Academy and see if that will be something that you want to work on. I myself, I'm interested in cyber operations, so military operations, but also other types of operations, and anything to do with exercises. So if you run exercises, if you want to have a company that does exercises, I'm also quite happy to talk to you about that. If you are more interested in the human aspects of cybersecurity, so like applied psychology type things, go find Dr. Rick Lugo. That is actually his specialty. He is a psychologist by training. And second time I can blame Adrian for something. If you need somebody who can incessantly talk about Stratcom and the information warfare and information environment, and lately also about space, he's your guy. He cares about it very much, and he will be very happy, I think, to talk to you about any of these topics, but especially space, since he has recently acquired a very nice space ground station on top of the 𝗥 building, and he's getting it to work. Now, we also have some other keywords for sure, but the main idea is try to find something that is closest to what you are interested in and find one of us. If you don't find anything, find me at least and come tell me what it is you're interested in, because the answer you seek may not be on this slide, may not be in our group, may be in a different group. In some cases, maybe in a different university. We have Tartu University present here as well today. So I'll be happy to point fingers and blame people for being expert at something, and hopefully you will find who you need. So, when should you come to us? Actually, not everything takes money. Right? Since we do have students do need to do projects, thesis projects, but also smaller projects. If you are willing to start small, and if you are okay with accepting that failure is an option, because sometimes students don't get to where you need to get them to in the time that you have. But come and work with a student or student group. This is a great way to get access to talent firsthand. By the end of this project, when they have finished with their thesis, for example, or built their self-driving car or a student satellite, by the end of that time, you will actually know them well enough to know if you want to hire them. Probably they'll be working for you by that time anyway, but at least that is one option. So all kinds of student problems are welcome, and this doesn't really need to come with a lot of money other than what the students need in order to make the project work. All right? Some of you may work in really innovative places that are not planning to do innovation just for the next quarter, but maybe for years and years to come. So you may have people who are kind of academically minded on your team who might consider doing a PhD, but are not interested in actually switching jobs and going to work in the university, well, come talk to me. I'll happily explain to you what an industry PhD looks like, where you can continue working where you are on a project that benefits your company, so your company is also interested in supporting your studies, and yeah, you'll get a PhD out of it, so that's also a plus. There is a caveat. Not everything you do at work is okay for a PhD topic, right? So you may be the best like auditor or risk management plan writer or a pen tester or security guard at the door, right? While there may be some academically interesting things you do, there may not be enough. So that is the caveat. You know, I'm happy to talk to you through some of these things, but if you are working in R&D departments, you know, you're building new things, designing new things, odds are looking much better for you already. And this is a very good way to build up relationship with between the company that you work in and the university, because you can build a constellation of smaller projects around this one single PhD. All right, but let's get to, you know, what if you stumble upon some money in your budget, or, you know, maybe Lauri just throws some at you. Well, you know, there's ways we can work through that problem as well. But again, not all problems are equal. So if you just need like 100,000 lines of code written by a human, well, we can have like students do that, but it may not be to the quality requirements that you want. But we are not really a software development house, right? We might do something like extremely experimental and complicated and more focused on kind of the algorithms or energy efficiency or you know, some like niche use case to get the last mile out of something. But if you just need to, you know, build another you know, massive information system for the government, we can advise you. You know, do this, don't do that. You know, here's some architectural you know, pointers. So it can be like a consultation kind of thing, but we will not do this in general. But we're happy to do these sort of weird, complicated things, especially if they are more on the lower end of the TRL. That is where universities are doing a lot of our work. And we can, you know, walk with you as you are climbing up the TRL ladder and you know, help you there with some of the more academically challenging questions that you are bound to experience when you get there. So we're talking about formal verification of, you know, models or algorithms, you know, things like that. We're happy to work with you. Now, there is also an option. You know, maybe you also need funding. You know, there's options to go out there together, you know, with a university and do something like really big. You know, go for Horizon funds or something like this. And this is something where, you know, we're quite happy to walk with you and work with you, because, you know, in the end, this is how we feed ourselves, right? We get some sandwiches one day, and then, you know, an interesting project comes in the next day. But we do need these. We do need to have these collaboration aspects with you as well. Especially because we are the University of Technology. And most of you, I think, are in the tech sector, right? So we should be working together and we should understand each other quite well. Because many of you have been through our university in the past. So you can get the slides later, I'm sure. If not, most of you, I think, do possess enough social engineering skills and open source intelligence gathering skills to find TalTech's website and find my contacts on it, or Adrian's contacts on it. Or if some of the other names you know, were interesting for you, their contacts are there as well. And like I said, if you don't know exactly who to talk to, come talk to me, come talk to Adrian. We're happy to figure out who you need to talk to. And that's what I have for slides. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And like I said, like these funding opportunities, these funding ideas that we are going for are going to be coming up at the end of this year. So right now is a good time to start talking to these people. If you have some sort of like a semblance of an idea, then they are the people who you could go for and say, hey, what if we did this? But before we continue, is there a question in the audience to Ryan right now? There is a question in the audience.
Just briefly, I'm just curious how much research is done in field connection of cybersecurity and legal frameworks, cybersecurity in AI.
So for cybersecurity and legal frameworks, we used to do a little bit of work, I would say maybe 5-6 years ago. We currently have one project which is specifically looking at legal aspects, but I don't want to leave you with the idea that we do a lot of this kind of work. We have some capability. There's one part-time researcher on our team who also has a law background, and we're happy to talk to you about that. As for AI, we've been trying to get more and more into AI for the last 7 years or so. So we're getting into a point where we have a few PhD students who have gone through the entire cycle, have actually either defended or are going to defend. There's another couple handfuls of PhD students who are currently on AI-related cybersecurity topics. So a lot of them are looking at the network security-related questions, so how to use AI in that field. But we also have a couple that are looking at like software development related questions. And there are many other, let's say, there's several other groups in TalTech that are looking at AI and software development, AI and other IT matters. So I would really need to talk to you directly to figure out what specifically you're interested in, and then I'm happy to point fingers to the 𝗥ป์𝗶𝗄 who have the expertise.
All right, thank you very much. Another round of applause, please. Thank you, Ryan. And we're gonna continue. There are still a couple of chairs over here. If you want to find a seat, there is a possibility to do this. But we're gonna continue. Another way to actually think about innovation is if you have an idea, if you have a team already, and then you have these things we call startups. Startups which just take mostly a technological idea and try to scale it up, and they just don't have enough clients yet, but they need to find their market. We think that cybersecurity deserves their own cyber acceleration program and grants to actually get those off the ground as well. So that's why we're going for a cybersecurity acceleration program, like the ones we did in 23 to 25 as well. And I'm going to invite 𝗥𝗶𝗄 up here to talk to us about the next version of the cybersecurity acceleration program. There's a microphone, there's a clicker. Take it away.
Thank you. Glad to be here. My first time here and already on stage. So let's go. My name is 𝗥𝗶𝗄 and I'm from Tehnopol. I work there as a project manager. And what do we do in Tehnopol is that we run different awesome accelerators, programs, projects, especially meant for startups, to help them to grow their businesses and to scale their products. And today I'm here to introduce you our Cyber Accelerator, which is especially meant for cybersecurity startups and their innovative ideas. As we have done it before, then maybe here's even someone who have participated in our previous cohorts. Is there anyone? No? Not right now? Okay. Then I will walk you through the concept of Cyber Accelerator. So, what is it? It's a cybersecurity-focused accelerator program, which is run by the Tehnopol Startup Incubator in collaboration with the Estonian Information System Authority, aka RIA. And the program is designed to support the development, market validation, and market entry of innovative cybersecurity solutions. And what do startups get if they join the program? As Lauri mentioned before, it's about money. So firstly, they will get up to 60,000 euros grant that can be used to cover salaries, product development costs, market validation, testing, certifications, and whatsoever. Secondly, they will get the cybersecurity-specific training series. They will participate, and there we cover crucial topics such as defining the customer, defining the target market, designing their value proposition, building their business model, developing their product further, and also exploring further funding opportunities. And of course, they will get an access to an experienced mentor network, starting off from business mentors, but also cybersecurity key mentors, and access to different expert mentors in other fields as well. And what else? They will also, all the startups will be a part of Tehnopol Startup Incubator's community, meaning that they will get access to our awesome co-working space in Tehnopol, different networking opportunities, events, and also collaboration opportunities with other startups we have in our community. Also different community events and activities that we do have a lot for startups. And also throughout the 7-month program, they will have a hands-on support from us. So we will support them to develop their product, but also keep track on their doings and how they could improve even more. So, for whom it is and who is the ideal applicant for the Cyber Accelerator. Firstly, if you are building a cybersecurity product, you are an Estonian registered tech company, or you are planning to become one. You have an early stage solution or MVP, or you are ready to develop your MVP during the time frame of the program. You also have an ambitious and dedicated team you are working with, and you are ready to develop your product and business even further. And also, in case you are looking for expert guidance and financial support up to 60,000 euros, then you are a perfect fit for that accelerator. Our focus fields are pretty much the same as Lauri already mentioned, but even though you're not currently operating in any of those fields, do not hesitate to apply, because maybe you have something that we do not even know that we are looking for right now. And now some more detailed information or practical information is that applications are currently open, and the deadline is 13th of July. So you have approximately a month to go to fill in the application form together with your project plan, where you are describing what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and how you're going to use the grant you are receiving. And you can do it through Tehnopol Startup Incubator website. If you have any further questions about the accelerator or your application or whatsoever, then here's my email. You can contact me directly, or I will be available later on here as well. And yeah, we will be waiting for your applications, and we are excited to see the next generation of cybersecurity startups. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait just 1 second. If you need examples of what kind of startups have actually already been through our cybersecurity acceleration program, on RIA's website, there's a special page where all of those previous applicants or previous companies, they have their small descriptions, and they also have like a link to their presentations which they were on stage for. And this is something that, just saying that the 13th of July, the application, the deadline, last time we had, both times we had like 30 to 40 different companies who were basically viable, and we had to select 8 of them. So it was like 3 to 4 companies per spot, and we expect more this time around because people have already heard of it. And so yeah, so just think long and hard about like what way are you going to be doing this. But let's take a question from the audience. Is there any questions about a cybersecurity acceleration program? If not now, then 𝗥𝗶𝗄 will be here later on as well. Another round of applause, please. Now, RIA isn't the only government or public sector or let's say like an entity who thinks about innovation, or cybersecurity isn't the only place where innovation is needed. So we're going to present to you another field which has some connection to cybersecurity, but our NATO Diana acceleration program is also up and running. So Marlene is going to come and talk to you about what defense tech is doing in terms of innovation, and yeah, take it away.
Hi. Happy to be here. My name is Marlene Rotem. I'm one of the project managers on the Accelerator team in Diana. Me personally, I'm responsible for the program and content of phase 1. Let me now figure out how that thing works. Yeah. So what is Diana? Hopefully all of you know that we are dual-use deep tech accelerator. Our mission is to help accelerate defense innovation, and we do that by bringing the civilian technologies into defense. So we support the companies in building their dual-use business strategy. And how we do that is bringing all the stakeholders together who are part of the defense tech ecosystem, and help bring down barriers and build bridges. We currently have 3 offices in 3 different countries, one of them being here in Estonia, the second one in London, which is the headquarters of Diana, and then the third one in Canada, which is the North American headquarters. We're a team of about 60 people, so actually not that large organization compared to NATO headquarters themselves. While we are small, our ecosystem and network is actually very large, and it consists of very many different organizations. For example, Tehnopol, who is one of our accelerator sites. So for this year's program, we had 13 active accelerator sites all over the Alliance. For 2026 year's program, we will have 17 accelerator sites all over the Alliance. What it means is that during the program, you will be assigned, if you will become an innovator, a Diana innovator, you will be assigned to one of the accelerator sites, and the expectation is for you to participate in the program at that specific accelerator site. Every accelerator site has their own technological strengths, which means that all the challenges are divided between the accelerator sites. So if you're an Estonian company and you would prefer staying in Estonia, then if for next year's program Estonia is not the one working with cyber companies, it may happen that you will be sent to some other country or accelerator site in the program. We also have more than 180 test sites, which means that you can validate your technology in whichever side of the alliance. And what is the program about? So today I'm talking about phase 1, which is the one where you can apply already today, actually. It consists of quite a few things. Usually it starts in January. Next one starts at January 2026, is next year, yes. And the program is for 6 months. During those 6 months, you will have an accelerator program, which means those were actually the on-site clusters that I meant, where we will teach you everything we know about defense, about procurement, sales cycles, help you validate your use case, and so on. You will get access to a mentor network of more than 1,000 mentors all over the alliance who are able to help you in whichever question you can imagine. You will get access to, as I already mentioned, the testing sites, but in addition to testing in some sort of organization, or you will also get access to the exercises that are organized by the nations and NATO. So it's a very cool program. We also organize different global events. Next week, every innovator we have in this year's program is going to join us in London, where we will hold an event of more than 350 people, with attendees being investors all over the alliance, defense forces all over the alliance, and every other relevant stakeholder. This year's program, we had 5 challenges and more than 2,600 applicants. We actually have 73 companies in this year's program, 2 of them being from Estonia. So we actually managed to raise the Estonian participants by 100%, because last year we had only 1, this year 2, maybe next year 3. And actually from the 2nd of June, we also have the application period for next year's program open. We have doubled the challenges. We will have now around 10 challenges. I really suggest you to go read the challenge statements from our webpage and go see yourself which challenge would be most suitable for you. Probably something like advanced communication technologies. And the challenge period is going to be a slide a bit sooner, later actually. So the challenge period is still open for another month from today, so you have time to prepare and submit your application. Who are we looking for? You for sure need to be from a founder from a NATO country with a NATO nationality. Your company has to be a deep tech, has to have deep tech technology and both defense and civilian application. The application process itself is actually really easy. There are some incubation programs in Estonia which ask a lot more from you than Diana does. The first thing you have to submit is one A4 page quad chart, where you basically have to describe what's your technology, how is it aligned with the challenges, what's the defense use case, has that been validated, and what's the commercial viability of your product. It's really super simple, so I suggest all of you take a look at it. And then, yeah, after the 11th of July, the application period will be closed, and And then the evaluation period starts, and by the beginning of December 2025, the participants will be confirmed, and actually already in the second week of December, the assignments for the different accelerator sites will be done, and your Diana career starts. Here's a quick overview of different teams that we've had in our program and how they're doing today. Actually, we're really proud of the teams we've had in our program for the past 2 years, and they're doing some awesome things and succeeding, hopefully thanks to Diana too. That's it from my side.
Applause, applause, applause. Thank you very, very much. Right, so 11th of July was the...
Yes.
Right, okay, good. Let's find out, are there questions from the audience right now? There is a question out there. Go.
Just to clarify, after finishing phase 1, what expectations? 6 months is done, what's next? Like for
yeah, so actually there is phase 2, which is something I didn't mention, but phase 2 is a bit different from phase 1 because it's rather like portfolio management. So if any of you are startups who already have any VC investments, okay, yeah, basically it's portfolio management, but the expectation to get into phase 2, which is also another 300K of money, is to do really well in phase 1. So you need to be very successful in phase 1, and then around 10% of phase 1 companies will get into phase 2. And that's very like one-on-one, very personal part of the program.
Alrighty. Will you stick around if anybody has any other questions after this bit, or just a website thing?
I will try.
Website, okay. Thank you. Right, thank you very much. Another round of applause, please. Right. These 2 examples of some startup acceleration programs and the innovation program that we are working on at RIA are just a couple of examples of things that may be important to companies who are just starting out, or who are taking their first steps in research and development. But all around Europe, there are a lot more ideas and grants going around for companies that are already a little bit more mature, or maybe some of those startups need to be part of a consortium that could go for a little bit larger grants. So one of our goals here at RIA, this R&D coordination department, is to get more Estonian companies to bring that European money home and to actually use it to do more research and to, do better stuff. And that's why we want to make sure that everybody is aware that there are funding opportunities out there. Tomorrow, on the 12th of June, the next round of Horizon Europe funding opportunities or funding calls will be opened. It's starting tomorrow. And so, and my slides are going to have a lot of QR codes. If you don't find them now, then you can take a look at the online webcast of this and then use the QR codes from there. Or you can just go to this thing called the Funding and Tenders portal on the European Union Funding and Tenders portal website, something like that. And then you can find all of those things. But the big question here is that I'm going to go through a couple of these headlines, and there's going to be 6 Horizon Europe cybersecurity calls that are open from tomorrow, and they're going to be open until November. And the idea why we're doing this is that there's going to be a whole lot of different events promoting them. We're going to talk to you a little bit about those events as well. But these things are a little bit, it's important to realize that you may need to be part of a consortium to actually apply for those calls. And to be parts of those consortiums, you need to find partners from all across Europe. And we want to help facilitate this partner search. Maybe you could find partners for your idea, or maybe you could be a good partner for somebody else's idea. But let's go through these, like even just headlines. If any of those headlines make any, like sense to you and you feel that, hey, this is something for me, then just, do the QR code thing, and then we'll see how it goes. For example, there is a call for integration of post-quantum cryptography algorithms into high-level protocols. Right? That's you, right? Right? Okay, good. So exactly, we already have one. But all of those calls have these potential outcomes that they're looking for. They have an idea that it should be basically, they're funding 2 projects, up to 2 projects, 2 to 3 million euros per project. And these projects need to have at least 3 partners, and probably from 3 different regions in Europe. And so these are some of the things that you need to make sure that you are really, this is really relevant to you. Or next, privacy enhancing technologies. Sounds pretty simple, right? And but then there's these outcomes, these expected outcomes that, for example, they need to be development of blockchain-based and decentralized privacy-enhancing technologies to preserve data confidentiality, and so on and so forth. If this talks to you, if this is relevant to you in any way, use this QR code, look at it, maybe you can find it important to you, and maybe there will be you can find a little bit more details about this call there as well. Next one, security evaluations of post-quantum cryptography primitives. Now this is a math thing, right? And so this is basically like, it's not too much about building a product or researching your product to the next level or something like that. This is about math. And so, the outcomes could be a new quantum algorithm with significant quantum speed up for lattice-based, code-based, and potentially other mathematical problem classes. And those kinds of things are being funded by European Union as well. Another one, security of implementations of these post-quantum cryptography algorithms. You can, this is actually an implementation one. If your company actually does these things and you need a academic partner, then there are universities also in Estonia and research organizations in Estonia who do post-quantum cryptography from a research point of view. And if you are a company that does it, then this could be an implementation way of actually doing this. Next one, generative AI. Oh, that's all the rage right now. Generative AI for cybersecurity applications. Now, it sounds like easy, but, oh, I did a bad QR code there. Yeah, don't show that one. Right, and so it sounds easy, developing training and testing of generative AI models and everything like that. But just think about it. This call is going to be financing 3 projects, up to 3 projects of 12 to 14 million euros each. So this is model development, basically developing, training, and testing models, which could be used for AI, for cybersecurity applications. I remember that TalTech, you did something like that. You could be a partner in a project with other partners, doing a 14 million euro project in generative AI for cybersecurity. These ones open up tomorrow. And there are new advanced tools and processes for operational cybersecurity. There's a little bit more projects envisioned here, 4.5 to 6 million euros each. There is cyber and hybrid threats, development of frameworks and tools and services. Also frameworks and services aimed at operational cooperation between public sector entities. So companies and universities and research organizations working together so that you could, build new things which could be used for cybersecurity. So again, these calls are opening up tomorrow. And if you, think that, hey, that's some interesting stuff, but that's not for me, then that's fine. I mean, that's fine. And there's everything, everyone has like this process that maybe your idea goes into the startup accelerator first, then goes into the NATO Diana startup second, and then goes into the innovation support mechanism that we are working on third. And then after a year or so, you can go and apply for a Horizon Europe thing as the next step, and as the next step in your journey on how to actually be a good innovator in cybersecurity. But if you are interested in these calls, and there's going to be new calls for Digital Europe as well, which are aimed more at some, implementation. There's going to be a couple of events coming up, events that we want you to join us on. And my colleague Kaisa is going to come and talk to us about some of these events that we're going to be seeing real soon. Go for it.
Hello, it's working. Great. Hello from my side. As you heard from Lauri, there are millions and millions and millions of euros waiting for you just to pick it. But it's not that simple. It's easier when you have friends with you. And by friends, I mean really good partners. And by partners, I also mean international partners, because the aim of this funding from EU is to develop EU, not only a local community, but the wider reach, the better, the wider impact, the better. So today I'm talking about 4 potential events where you could take part in, 2 of them on site, 2 of them online, and all of them will give you the opportunity to know more about calls that have been opened, and also about potential partners that you might have either for these calls or some upcoming calls some other year, because we all know that good partners, they tend to become good when you have spent some time with them face to face, and you understand what kind of work ethic do they have, what kind of goals do they have. So these events, these upcoming calls come quite suddenly. So I will not give you a lot of time to react in going to these events. We're talking about June. So first event, it's a practical event. You can go there and have recommendations on how to write the proposal. It takes place in Bonn. Our partner organization from Germany is organizing that, and they are focusing on Digital Europe health sector cybersecurity call, which means that in that room there will be potential partners from Germany, from Estonia as well, from anywhere else who are interested in that specific call. So if you have ties with, for example, health sector, maybe you're working in health sector in cyber, then that would be a great first place to meet potential partners and get tips and tricks regarding how to write the great proposal that eventually might succeed with those same potential partners. So go ahead and register. The registration deadline is 17th of June, meaning that we won't give a lot of time for you, but that's an option. It's a full day event, so go ahead. Other two events are both at the same time, more or less. Okay, we are in different time zones, but they are both on the 27th of June, and these are both organized by, let's say, little unions. Baltic here, Benelux there, and meaning that you can expect to see these partners in these webinar forums. You can hear again about calls from European Cybersecurity Competence Centre, from the program officers who actually follow all these projects or applications that come in by those deadlines. So the Q&A session from them is very valuable, and both of these webinars will offer the Q&A option. Today I will give you the Teams link to it's the actual call, what's the actual webinar link that's going to be held for the Lithuanian hosted webinar, and they will also record it and later on put it on the National Cybersecurity Centre of Lithuania YouTube channel for you to check later. And regarding Benelux webinar, they expect prior registration. So if you're interested, you can read more and register. Now, as for the last, but definitely not least, then we are inviting you to Finland, to Helsinki. There will be a one-day, let's say, all-inclusive event where you can basically have it all. You can hear about the calls, you can have the Q&A, you can have the proposal writing tips and tricks, you can network, but most of all, that is the event where you can also pitch your project idea or your expertise and interest in any of those calls. The deadline to register as a participant is 13th of August, but I wouldn't wait for that long. So feel free to register before. On the link, you can later see more information also, what's planned there. And regarding the pitching, then 15th of August, there's a separate deadline for that. So yeah, highly recommend this event. Regarding this event, I wanted to tell you about that pitching. It is not just let's talk for an hour, but there is a time limit of 10 minutes. So within those 10 minutes, you should either say, oh, we would like to write about this project that falls under that call, and we are looking for these partners with these expertise, and then later on you could network with the participants. Or you're listing down, we are interested in this or that call, we have this expertise, If you have any project, then great, let's contact later. So there are two ways to pitch, and as this would give you an extra exposure for inside the Finnish or Swedish community members, and this event will also be, we will also invite others from the EU network, our communities, then feel free to join there. So, as the calls are coming, every year, at least once or twice for each program, whether it's Digital Europe, Horizon Europe, European Defense Fund, then we will be continuing to keep an eye on what other network, what other similar organizations are doing, and offering you the possibility to join these events and getting the network either for project or some other product or service development ideas you might have. As for this event over here, which is also a networking event, then I'm looking forward to your ideas, what you might have for next year. We're putting the season together, and I would love to hear what you, or from who you would like to hear from. Maybe that someone or these topics you might see next year on the stage here. Look, there's a .ee in the end. Don't try to write there. Okay, but thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Could you put back the slide where we had like these, one of the Kaisa slides where there was 4 different events there? I just want to make a point. Yeah, exactly, this one. So again, just to reintroduce a little bit of a concept for you as well. If you see up here, there's like all these NCCDE, NCCLT, NCCLV, and so on and so forth. So just every member state in European Union has this small unit called the National Coordination Center, the NCC. And those are the biggest thing that they can provide is to find good partners from those countries for these kinds of calls. Like, I didn't even tell you about the healthcare sector call that's going to come up sometime soon on Digital Europe. But this, like NCC Estonia, that's us. You know, that's, you know, we do this event and blah, 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 blah. We are the ones. But if you really are interested in getting into this ecosystem of participating in Horizon calls or digital calls or something like that, then the NCC network is someone that you can ask either us to connect to them, or you can Google NCC Germany, NCC Netherlands, NCC Belgium, and then they are the ones who are basically tasked with finding you good partners and good connections in those countries in the cybersecurity sector. They have events like this, like a meetup event as well. They're not as good as ours, but there are events there as well. I'm not sure if they provide snacks like that. So all in all, these NCCs are very important parts of this ecosystem of trying to get the cybersecurity sector to do more collaboration and to bring more money home. And our goal here in Estonia is to bring more European funds to Estonian cybersecurity companies. And this is why we are trying to participate as much as we can in our international events, you know, even if it's just an info day, or if it's like an on-site brokerage event with, you know, like all those things put together. So with this, we're going to stop for today. If you are interested in these kinds of events, then leave your email address at our mailing list, and we are going to send you information about the August event again. And other than that, let's wrap it up for this summer, spring and summer. Our next meeting is a long time from now, October 9th. So I bet you will remember this, definitely, right now as well, but we'll try to remind you. Thank you everyone for coming. Let's wrap it up. There's some more snacks there. You can talk to everybody who was on stage, and have a good night.